Hi, I'm Dave Coulier, and I'm on the cover of Parade. How cool is that? This has been a roller coaster ride for sure. I've had 6 chemotherapy treatments. I just finished the 6th one. And with that 6th one came the lowest point on the roller coaster ride. Because chemotherapy can be cumulative in your system, I had the lowest blood levels of the entire journey. And so I was here at home, finished my 6th and final treatment, and I got very, very sick. So I was in bed for about 10 days, just trying to figure out, do I have a cold? Am I just feeling the ramifications of this cumulative effect of the chemo? So finally, my wife, Melissa, said, enough's enough. We're gonna have a doctor come over. So my doctor stopped by. He said, you're going to the hospital, and we gotta get some antibiotics into you now. And I was in the hospital for 4 days, and they pumped me filled with fluids and antibiotics. It was a rhinovirus. Because my white blood cell count was so low, it wasn't able to fight off this common cold virus. My doctors later told me if you would have waited another 48 hours, you would have been in a real battle, and we might not have been able to turn this around. I've gotten to go through this journey with an incredible partner, my wife, Melissa. You know, we're going through this together. We've been a team. I think it would have been a totally different journey had she not been with me.
I know she's really been there for you, kind of tweaking your diet. She's very into the holistic thing. Talk to me about the things that she has asked you to do.
Well, I had to give up a lot of fun foods. I love sushi, so I couldn't have any raw fish. I'm a firm believer now that what you put into your body is exactly what you'll get back. So I've completely cut out all sugar. You know, because of my age and because I still like to play ice hockey, I had a lot of inflammation. And once I stopped sugar, it was gone in a matter of 7 days. And I thought, this is insane. I don't feel anything in my hips or my knees or my elbows. And my wife just kind of likes to just sit there and smile. I'm 110% on board, just because I feel the side effects.
You do.
And my oncologist in the hospital the other day, she said, you know, Dave, you've gone through these treatments remarkably well. And I said, well, why am I here in the hospital? She said, well, look, a lot of people enter into this chemotherapy very unhealthy. You came into this like an athlete, and you know, you had already changed your diet. That helped you a lot because it gives your body the strength to be able to weather through this storm. And she said, and also, you've been cracking jokes the entire time.
Come on now, cut it out.
You've been making the staff laugh and the nurses. And she said, that is 99% of it.
You and John posted that photo right when you were diagnosed, and then there were a lot of naysayers. Did that surprise you?
I think people misunderstood my personal relationship with my buddy, John Stamos. He knows what makes me laugh. He walked out like that. I fell on the floor laughing. It wasn't us making fun of others. It was, let's laugh our way through this because this is a tough journey.
I know you guys as a cast are so close. I know you're extra close with John. How have they all been taking turns being there for you, supporting you?
We're a family, and so we get these text strings, and it's always funny, and that keeps us connected. And, you know, Candace has FaceTimed me a couple of times, and Lori has FaceTimed me a couple of times. John FaceTimes me like every day. Hey, are you still alive? He's making gallows humor jokes, but that he knows that's what's gonna make me laugh. We're very close. I love them all so dearly.
Bob's passing, the anniversary of his passing was 3 years ago. Do you ever sit and does he come to you in your dreams?
I missed Bob so much, and I met Bob when I was 18 years old. Yes, he comes to me in my dreams, and he always does something silly and foolish and makes me laugh. And Bob would have been here every single day. He would have called me every day. How are you doing? How are you? What's the prognosis? Dave, tell me what's going on. And he would have driven me crazy. And you know, it was a lovable crazy that he had. I'll be having a moment of just clarity and I'll think, oh, I'll call Bob. And then I realize I can't call anybody and tell them this thought that I have right now, because Bob is the only one who would think so outrageously to be able to respond to it.
When you first heard the words that you have cancer, what went through your head? Were you angry? Were you calm? Were you crying with your wife?
It's funny how life just happens sometimes, because we had been waiting to hear from the doctors, from, you know, some scans and blood work. And I was home alone with our 2 dogs, Ziggy and Cooper. My doctors called and they said, well, we wish we had better news for you. And I just went gulp. And they said, you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, the most aggressive kind. It's called B-cell. And I said, okay, what does that mean? And they said, it means you're going in for chemotherapy next week because of the aggressive nature of this type of cancer. We hung up and my wife walked in. First thing she said was, have you heard from the doctors? And I said, yeah, I just got off the phone. She goes, and? I said, I have cancer. And she goes, don't even joke around. And I said, no. It was as if I punched her in the stomach with this information. And that's what I felt. I didn't feel bad for myself. I felt so bad that it was affecting her that deeply. Mm-hmm. And I thought, and that's when the reality really set in. You know, we held each other and we both just cried. And I said, I'm gonna turn this into something. And she said, well, what are you gonna turn it into? And I said, I think I can turn this into maybe helping some people. We just let it all kind of soak in organically.
Have you thought about kind of like what you want for your life, like after this is over? Hopefully, knock on some wood over here, you know.
Knock on wood, I got plenty of it right here.
And you don't need, you know, any other treatments, and you can just maybe go back to eventually regaining a normal life. Have you thought about that yet?
Absolutely. We have a grandson coming, hopefully end of March. And so we're so excited about that. You know, there's just so many things that I love to do. I love to play golf. I love to play ice hockey. So I'm looking forward to getting back in shape and skating with my beer league friends on Saturday mornings. So there's a lot. There's a lot on my plate. I have a full house.
It looks like you've got a pretty cool hat collection going. How many hats do you have now?
I have about 8 hats that I kind of switch around. John Stamos, when he came and visited me here in Michigan, I said, do you want to go to a really cool hat store? And he said, yeah, let's go. And so John was there and he was modeling hats. He goes, how about this one? Now, John looks tremendous in hats. I kind of look like Uncle Fester if he would pick out a hat. So I finally picked out this really cool hat and he goes, that looks really good on you. And I said, really? He goes, I'm gonna buy you that hat. So John bought me a hat that day and he ended up going home with, I think, 3 hats.
I'm so glad that you're feeling better and sending positive prayers and vibes for Monday's scan for you.
Thank you so much. Hey, for those of you who are going through this, I'm giving you a big virtual hug here because, man, there's nothing like that human connection that will get you through this. Go get screened, everybody. Go get screened.